Chinese personal shoppers are disappearing. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from ABC. It's about Chinese personal shoppers disappearing, the impact on Australian brands, and the devastation by this economic recession. So this is going to be quite interesting because we've all heard the stories about people buying up products and just shipping them over to China. I met a gentleman who set up an entire business just to sell baby formula overseas. He'd buy it up and then ship it over there. You know, Christine Liu has always resisted asking her parents for money, but with the pandemic hit, she didn't have a choice. I felt guilty even though I can hardly make ends meet. I didn't want to ask, she said. I think the impact of the pandemic has been enormous and it could be a devastating blow. After recently graduating from the Australian National University, the 28-year-old has found a waitress job at a restaurant while she continues her Daigou, or personal shopper, side hustle. Am I pronouncing that right? Daigou? She buys and sends Australian-made products including baby formula, health supplements, makeup, and occasional luxury bags to Chinese consumers, but demand has been plummeting since early this year. She's gone from selling at least 300 tins of baby formula a month last year to selling only 50 tins in September. Ms. Liu's annual turnover has also halved from more than 200,000 last year, where she earned about 20,000 in profit before tax. Well, there you go. You know, I was often overwhelmed by too many orders, but I've hardly had a message on my phone this year, she said. I'm missing those busy days so much. So they're disappearing, though it won't vanish completely. Australia's multi-billion-dollar Daigou industry has been upended by the pandemic, with the effects being felt not just by thousands of personal shoppers, but by major Australian businesses as well. Empty baby formula shelves have become a regular phenomenon across Australia, but the A2 Milk Company, a popular brand among Daigou clients in China, is now grappling with an oversupply of products. While it's hard to know which single factor has contributed most to the disruption, one problem has been the decline in overseas arrivals, particularly international students. Before COVID-19, there were an estimated 150,000 in Australia. Well, there you go. 150,000, I'm just going to call them personal shoppers. That just shows you guys. That's a whole other aspect of these international students. I mean, they're propping up the property market. They're propping up the tourism, the tourism market too. They're propping up the university sector, and they're propping up just the retail more above and beyond other sectors. Because I haven't heard about this from all my, the Portuguese students or the European students I know sending back things like baby formula to Europe as a side hustle where you'd pull in 20 grand a year in profit before tax, which ain't bad. While some, like Miss Liu, were professional personal shoppers, many were temporary migrants or tourists working on a smaller scale, supplying family and friends with products back home. About 1,000 brick-and-mortar specialty stores catering to this demand are dotted across Australia, but many are now closed. The director of Honeyroo, a consulting firm that connects Australian brands with personal shoppers, Jeremy Fu, said about 30% of personal shopper specialty stores were now closed temporarily or permanently. Even the shops that are open in Sydney, less people are walking in to buy and ship back to China, he said. But it's not just the lack of travellers having an impact. Chinese consumer behaviour is changing in the wake of the pandemic too. For safety concerns, they prefer products produced or stored in China because parcels may be contaminated by the pandemic. Well, there you go. That's ironic. They're worried about it coming from Australia. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. What a crazy world we're living in, guys. What a crazy world. According to official data released in April, China saw its economy shrink for the first time since 1992, which has impacted the buying ability of Chinese people. Chinese consumers have less buying power to buy imported products. Also, because of the disruption to logistics, people can't wait that long for products. Even before the pandemic, Chinese consumers were increasingly looking for cheaper, more efficient ways to connect with Australian products. Jeremy Hunt, a former business executive of Swiss, told the ABC that new online platforms had had an overwhelming impact on the personal shopper model. There are China-led initiatives that have added to this pressure, said Mr. Hunt, who helped pioneer e-commerce trade for personal shoppers between Australia and China. New platforms have offered Chinese consumers a real competitive option in terms of pricing and delivery timing, he said, adding that the competition would be intense for businesses in China and overseas. So what about the Australian businesses relying on them? The downturn in trade is having a ripple effect beyond the personal shoppers and their clients. One of the biggest logistic providers for personal shoppers, Blue Sky International Express, went bankrupt in May. Dozens of Blue Sky Express clients in Sydney and Brisbane told the ABC they were trying to retrieve goods still with the company, while some in Melbourne said they were able to reclaim their products by paying extra fees. The clients, personal shoppers and specialty shop owners, estimate $800,000 worth of product and nearly 7,000 parcels are still missing, but the real figure could be even higher. As personal shopper sales collapse, the fallout could also force major ASX-listed companies to restructure. It's a drop that is evident across ASX-listed companies that have China-facing exposure. Blackmores or the A2 Milk, through to privately held businesses and brands, have let staff go and pulled back in marketing, spending, and other consumer-driven activities, Mr. Hunt said. The A2 Milk Company is one of Australia's leading producers of baby formula and a major source of products for personal shoppers and their customers. The company did not respond to the ABC's questions, but CEO Jeffrey Babbage said in a September trading update that sales of its infant nutrition products in 2021 would continue to drop, due in part to a contraction in the personal shopper channel. This disruption in the personal shopper channel is impacting our September sales, and really, it's grey market. It's grey market, isn't it? It's impacting our September sales, and it is currently anticipated that this will continue for the remainder of the first half of 2021. COVID-19 also caused a 16% decrease in net sales in Australia and New Zealand for vitamin company Blackmores, according to the company's financial report for the first half of the year. On the flip side, Mr. Hunt said COVID-19 had forced companies to recognise the commercial value of personal shoppers. This is a positive recognition of the power and success of the sector, albeit alarmingly in that its implications are very real. Brands and people are suffering as a result. So what is the future for them in Australia? With no end in sight to the disruptions caused by the coronavirus pandemic, personal shoppers are looking for ways to adapt. Ms. Lewis found a part-time job in a restaurant to make ends meet for now, but she's also considering using brand promoting skills to transform her into an influencer online. Others like Long Hu have already made the transition. My business has been falling since March, but I've upgraded my warehouse into 10 live streaming studios, Ms. Hu said. Ms. Hu invites individual personal shoppers to use her studios to connect with Chinese consumers and promote Australian brands. This is definitely an opportunity as consumers in China love this type of interaction, she said. With the industry facing its biggest shake-up in years, Mr. Hunt said this type of business model involving personal shoppers acting as influencers and brand promoters will become more common. The era of social sharing and social e-commerce is here already. The demand is still there. The consumers in China not only desire, but have become accustomed to the amazing brands, products, and efficiency that Australian produces. So what do you think, everyone? Do you think this will be a big hit to Australia? And something, alternative to drop shipping. Maybe drop ship stuff from China here and then send stuff back over there. What do you reckon, guys? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode.